Well, tonight for the first time, we're hearing from the parents of a 5-year-old child who was sexually abused by a daycare worker with repeated complaints against him.
A plea deal has been reached in this case tonight. Chief investigative reporter Wendy Halloran looks into the structure of that deal. Wendy.
Well, Heidi and Mark, the case I'm about to show you is the only case that has been successful. Weber County prosecutors gave Tanner Dobson a plea bargain. It's a deal that will send him to prison for a minimum of 15 years, potentially life. The victim's parents also filed a civil lawsuit against Dobson, his mom, grandfather, and others in this case. I'm going to outline that in the report. The parents believe other victims and witnesses are out there and hope this helps them come forward.
I think I was in a state of shock and disbelief. Shock, really. It's a parent's worst nightmare.
The child's parents don't want their child identifiable as the victim of Tanner Dobson's sexual abuse, and that is why we are obscuring their identities.
Based upon the plea, I am going to strike the jury trial that was scheduled on February 18th, 20th, and 21st.
This is a plea agreement. Dobson admitted he took one of the students at daycare during gymnastics class and coerced the child to undress, took pictures, touching private parts, and told the student not to tell anyone. Count 3 for obstruction of justice was dismissed.
As to count 1, first-degree felony, aggravated sexual abuse of a child, what is your plea?
Guilty, Your Honor.
As to count 2, first-degree felony, aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, what is your plea?
Guilty, Your Honor.
15 years to life, and that is mandatory by statute. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Nice to know that he will be behind bars for at least the next 15 years. We can't do this to any other children or continue to be doing this to our child.
They filed this lawsuit against Progressive Preschool and Child Care Center owned by Jamie Bitton, Dobson's mother, and Wayne Carlos, her father, Dobson's grandfather, who owns and manages Progressive Preschool and the property where it operates. Also listed as a defendant, Elite Gymnastics Academy. Progressive Preschool touts its relationship with Elite Gymnastics, stating that its students would have a weekly lesson with a gymnastics coach from Elite Gymnastics. The lawsuit alleges when Jamie Bitton found out about the accusations against her son, she fired him and the next day called the victim's mother to tell her he'd been fired and that she would be receiving a call from DCFS. The victim's mom went to the daycare to meet with Jamie in person. The lawsuit contends Jamie reiterated she fired her son and repeatedly apologized to her that Tanner had sexually assaulted and harmed her daughter. Later that day, Jamie found out police were on their way to her home to question Tanner, and she told him. In response, Tanner deleted the photographs and video recordings he had taken of the child on his phone before police got there, and then performing a factory reset of the phone, permanently disposing of the evidence.
I was outraged that her actions impacted our case.
Tanner Dobson will be sentenced on March 19th. As for the defendants in the parents' lawsuit, they have responded to the suit. Their response on most of the allegations say, quote, they are without information or knowledge sufficient to form a belief to the allegations and have entered denials. I have contacted attorneys for all defendants, including Elite Gymnastics, but have not yet heard back.